Tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Nine ball top number hit to you and me. With his gunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper.
ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And that's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand. Amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done. Streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand. Amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done. Streets of games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. Oh, TG, tactical genius. Every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad. Never mind.
Right, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to VP4TV. Welcome to Simon and anybody else that's watching. I have set the room for this match. This is a... Now, why the hell aren't they coming into the room? That's what I'd like to know. You'd think they'd put 2 and 2 together and work out, let's get in the room. That's the kind of people I've got to deal with. Yeah, this match has been sort of rearranged, but I don't know why, what the problem was. Obviously, they couldn't arrange to get it played, but we're here today. And, of course, when you manually set up a room in straight pool, which I haven't done for goodness knows how many years, you have a points goal that you can set it to. But, unfortunately, Steve overlooked the fact that he doesn't have an increment from 150 to 200. His increment from 150 jumps to 300. So what a numpty mistake that was. So let me just tell them. Although they might be able to work that out themselves. No, I don't think... Wait a minute. Right, let me just check. That'll be in advanced settings. You've got to put 2 players in the game. Hang on. Advanced settings, default, first break. Yeah, I knew I'd done something wrong. Right, so I put the 2 of them in, and I think we're good to go. I think it's a deep pockets table. So, right, we've got Coldest Pillow on the right-hand side. Welcome to Bedhead. And we've got Hazad on the left. So you can see the scores. The match goal is 300, but we're playing to 200, of course. And the interesting thing you'll notice is that next to the players' names, I've got their current high run in Virtual Pool 4 as far as straight pool goes. And both of them have a high run of 50, which again is it's misleading for most people because most of these guys don't play straight pool. And Coldest Pillow has only been introduced to straight pool during this event. And the first big mistake there from Coldest Pillow. And he's left a shot on, I think, well, certainly on the 2. I thought he could get to the 3, but clearly not. And I never get the chance to have a look at the bracket, but there's been a number of matches that I've missed for various reasons, but most of the reasons are they're not at a suitable time for me, and Slim wasn't around to catch any of them. But the other big news is that Cobra, who had a bye in the first round against Cheeky Chico, who had to forfeit or decided to forfeit for one reason or another. And lo and behold, Miskin, who upset Fast Eddie in their first round match, Miskin has decided he wants no more of it, and he has forfeited against Cobra. So Cobra's going to get to round 3 without hitting a ball. So I'm sure that'll please many of the guys in the tournament. Cobra not having to break sweat. The high run for the tournament on the top left of the HUD is still 130 by Acero. And of course, the less matches that get played, the less likelihood of that high run going. Welcome to Slim. And Slim has levelled up to number 3 in the chat. I don't know what the hell he gets for levelling up to number 3, but he's levelled up. Now, that's what I never done. Hang on a minute. Say hello to my little friend. Welcome to Bob. R.I.P. Bob. I've shifted my webcam and I've shifted it onto its little three-legged, what do you call it? The little thing that it threads into the bottom of the webcam. I've shifted it right down in front of me. And I invited Bob to join us today. And meanwhile, Hazad on a run of 9. Now he now has what looks like a potential break ball, but it looks a bit high up in the stack, this ball. But it'll have to do at the moment because there's not really anything else that's good. You've got, well, the 11 is going to go anyway, so. And I think he's overhit that by quite a margin. He never played to get there. I'm sure he played to get either of those two out the way, but he's still on the 6. Well, that's the same old story. I mean, I also predicted, and I've got witnesses to that because you guys were in the stream when I said it, I'm pretty certain that Woody would not be interested in playing in this tournament. And of course, I was correct in that judgment as well because he signed up to many of these tournaments and never bothered to show. And Stubb, I told him he was going to get a bye. Stubb told me that Woody was actually in the lobby. I think, was it yesterday it happened? He told me that Woody was in the lobby, and I'm pretty certain, as soon as he told me that, I thought he's probably just came online to forfeit, and that's what he did, and he disappeared. So Stubb gets a bye as well. And Hazad... Well, the thing is, remember what I said about that ball being high on the stack? The problem with that is the angle he was left at, and if you hit the ball too hard, the cue ball's in the arc around the pack. And I think that's partly the reason why he missed it and almost scratched. Yeah, so the forfeits in this tournament are mounting up. Now I need to have a cough. Hang on a minute. Now, I've got my phone right down in front of me so I can read the chat and stop me looking at the bloody second monitor. Welcome to Wit. Yeah, that's a habit that Tony Sam had as well. In fact, his habits got so bad he doesn't even bother entering tournaments nowadays. I don't know whether I switched jump cues off, by the way. That was another thing. I don't know whether I did. We'll soon find out because I'm guaranteed that one of these guys is going to try it at some point. I'm missing the Scotland game. Incidentally, Scotland were losing 1-0 when I switched it off. They were 1-0 up from the first leg in Greece, and Greece had equalised, so I don't know what's happening in it. And also, what time is it? 6:05. Oh, I'm going to be missing the rest of the final of the snooker that's on. You've got Judd Trump on 4 frames and Kyron Wilson on 4 frames, 1st to 10. That resumes at 7 o'clock tonight. I probably won't see all of it, but I'll see some of it. That afternoon session lasted like 90 minutes and that was it done. It was all over. Nobody's interested in whether Wales won or lost. Nobody cares. No, they went 1-0 down. I read that this morning. Kazakhstan get the first goal. So they did, and Wales shit themselves in the process. I think that's what happened. This Kazakhstan team, probably a bunch of bloody farmers who've never seen a football. Right, well, where have we got to? Well, Hazad has a 21-point lead, or run of 6. And again, well, 15 ball right now would be the nominated break ball. Problem is he's having to do this up and down business. You've got a couple of balls down here. Now, I would suggest that he's probably going to leave at least one of them, obviously, to get onto this 15 ball. That should be very easy to do, but and this is going to finish up awkward, is it? Yeah. Well, now that he's got the angle, I would be playing that 7. Get up the table into the middle of the table, even well, he doesn't want to bump the 4 and lie stone dead on the 4. He doesn't want to do that. Yeah, he must have seen that coming. Why didn't he hit that harder? That way he could have opened up off that 4 ball. Now he's left it awkward. So now, this is where the serious part of straight pull comes in, where you've got to get good on that penultimate ball to get good on your break ball, and he's got no excuse here. He should be getting very good on this break ball. Now, again, I'd be going forward or whatever to try and get in back up the table a bit. I wouldn't be wanting to leaving it down near the rail. I'd want to get back up. And that's good enough, but you see the distances away from the pack. See, that is a wall of balls that you're trying to break out, especially when you're further away from them, and he's locked out. Well, tell a lie, the 8 ball goes. The 8 ball definitely goes. There's room past the 7. And of course the cue ball's going to be in the mix there, doing that. You can see the 8 ball does go. Problem with that is you're shooting it at this angle, so you've got to not be fooled by the 7 ball, and he was. Oh, that 8 ball's going to go in. Well, it went into the pocket that it was called in. Let's see if the replay works. Yes, it does work. So that's a perfectly legal shot. It went into the one that it was called. Why is he doing a missed call? Oh, I'm not getting involved, but he's an umpty. He's an umpty. Why? I mean, he played the 8 ball. We all can see that he played the 8 ball there. Even Coldest Pillow can see that, and Hazad has decided to miscall it. Well, that's daft. Or it's daft in the first place that he should have called it just to make everything legal and above board, but in the spirit of the game, and in his own defence, we all know that he was trying to pot the 8 ball, because it was the only one that went. It went past the 7. It then fluked in, and he decides to miscall it. Well, he's made a big boo-boo there. Looking like Alf Garnett. But maybe you're right. But you've got to be a certain age to know who Alf Garnett is. Anyway, Hazard's made a mistake, and also, of course, it lets Coldest Pillow into the game. So I'll be questioning Hazard at some point in the not too distant future as to why the hell he did that. When we're all watching, we know what he was playing. But again, he's only to blame himself because he didn't actually call the shot. And that's where players make the mistake. if there's ever any sort of doubt over any sort of shot, then you've got to call it, and that way it takes away any doubt. Plus the fact he would have covered his own back there when the ball fluked into the pocket anyway. It would have been all perfectly good. What's Simon saying? No, I'm not watching the Scotland game because I'm doing this shit, that's why. Because these numpties couldn't arrange the match at a proper time within the schedule. And Scotland were losing when I stopped watching it and come up and start this stream. Don't bother telling me the bad news, because Scotland always snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. They've done that all my life watching them. So we know there's a problem up top here, and Coldest Pillow obviously sees one way to resolve it. Let's have a look. Well, he can nip this and get a little bump. Oh, this might have finished ugly. It's finished a bit dodgy, to say the least. I mean, the 2-ball and 10-ball do go into the side pocket. That 2-ball might be a bit tight to run it up into the corner. And he's probably picked the toughest one of all, this bloody 7-ball. I don't know why he's doing this. But he's got the line, he's got the pot, he's got a bump in the 2, and he's not really got a break ball that's the best idea. Well, the 10's at the corner of the pack. It'll have to do if he can get there. Using all the rail in the pocket there. So the objective for one of these guys tonight is to try and beat their high run, which both of them have a high run of 50. That's their all-time virtual pool, straight pool high run score. And Coldest Pillow again, he's had two attempts at breaking balls, and he's failed in both of them so far in this match. And that first mistake he made gave Hazad, I think, like a 20-odd point lead. So now Hazad's got another good chance. And this is what happened with Miskin and Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie couldn't find any consistency. Fast Eddie's problem was he kept scratching. Right now, Coldest Pillow's problem is he can't break the balls, and he can't pot the break ball either. So he needs to fix that pretty quickly. But there's a feast to be had here for Hazad. I mean, there's a good stack of balls to have here, and in fact, the choices are so good that this is where you can end up getting into a proper mess here, because you've not got your pattern good. So he's got to pick off the blockers if he can. Now, there's a problem in around here. There's a problem here. And the problem for straight away is that one as well. And the 7-ball's a problem. But it's difficult to get in there. You've got to come down the rail. You've got to get something done about this bit here, or you're going to get stumped straight away. And if that was me, I'd be going from this side right now if I could pot any of them, but I don't think he could comfortably do it. Well, the angle he's got in the 15 could do a little nudging. It might be worth having a little bump here, but nothing too heavy. Well, it's not actually finished ideal. He can nip the 3-ball in. He can bail out on the 1-ball down the table here. He can bail out on the 2-ball. But this is a concern. And, well, again, he's got an angle. Now, the problem is that 1-ball would be classed as a break ball where it's sitting and it's gone. He's got the bump that he needed to get, so now he's going to have to go to plan B. And I'm looking, well, 14 balls out the game, because it's in the rack. So he's either going to have to, it's probably going to be from behind the pack here. Unless he's cutting one of those balls in and coming off the rail into the side of the pack. So this is, the prospects for continuing this run are not exactly perfect right now. What am I missing in the chat? Nothing. Good. Right, in fact, I'm missing something in the chat. Here we go with the phone again. The bloody chat does not, it doesn't get everything in, which is really annoying. Let me just shut that down. Go to the chat filter. Right, what have I missed there? I thought you had something from... Right, what's Slim saying there? I thought you had that AI. Yeah, I do. No. Ah, right, Slim. Now I know what you're talking about. No, what I've got now is I've got XSplit VCam, which is the webcam software that allows you to remove the background and all that sort of stuff. But I've had VCam for years. But like I said on my little video, I accidentally found out that when I went to the XSplit website, because I was checking for updates from my XSplit broadcaster, and I noticed a message about VCam and about VCam AI being the new program that they brought out. So it's still the webcam software. It's laid out differently, but it uses AI in the algorithm and all that sort of stuff or whatever. And looking at it, the quality of the background removal has been improved again. It's excellent. Even for not necessarily the best lit environment that I'm in. I've just got one little lamp on here in front of my two monitors. And I just thought, looking at it the other day, it looked excellent, and it still does. It still looks very good. So it's got certain features that aren't functioning at the moment because it's just a brand new bit of software that they're updating all the time. But I've now got two versions of VCam. This one that I'm using at the moment and the older one, which won't be updated, they said. This is why they want us to, anybody who has VCam, they want us to switch over to the VCam AI, because that's the one that's now current and will be the only one that's going to be updated in future updates. So Coldest Pillow, trailing by a margin at the moment, looking to find a way to get back into this. But you're really not back in it until you've started getting rid of the deficit. Well, he's bumped that 2-ball. That's done no harm because that's absolutely stone dead as a combo, the 6-2. He's got a couple of nominated break balls. The 7 and the 1 look good from here. Well, the 7 again is right at the head of the pack. I don't really think that's any good to you unless you're probably stuck here and you have to bail out by taking it into the side. You're right at the top of the pack there. And we saw how Hazad went around the pack on a ball that's too high. So the 1 ball looks better. And now he started nudging balls. Well, he's got to make a decision fairly quickly here in what one he's getting rid of. Now, to me, if he can, I'd be getting rid of that 7 ball at some point. Now, he's got an opportunity, he can do that now, not off this ball, but off the one he was looking at. That one there, in fact, you could squeeze an angle out of that. It's a bit straight, but you could certainly come up the rail and get rid of that 7. And the longer you don't get rid of that 7 ball, the more likely you are to end up in trouble. Well, I don't know what he's got planned here. Now, clearly his thinking is different from mine, because that 7 ball is annoying me because I'm looking at the 1 as a break ball. Now, he's obviously looking at something different. It might be the 4 ball at the back of the pack on that short rail. Well, we'll see how this works out. It's not, to me, it's not looking good at the moment. So now you can get rid of the 7 ball because he's gone too close to the 4. He could cut it back, but to me the main objective is get rid of that 7 and then take it from there. I presume that you might want to hold the cue ball and get rid of the is that the 15 or the 13? What the hell ball is that? It's a 12. Well, again, why he wanted to roll through so far, I don't know. He could have easily got rid of that 12 and kept the cue ball in close contact. Now he's in no man's land again and having to get rid of the 1. This is not shaping up good. I mean, that's an ideal break ball there, where the 1 ball's sitting. So it's going to have to be the back of the pack. And you know what happens with the back of the pack, if you've ever listened to Willie Thorne.
Where's the cue ball going?
And that's a complete disaster, because he's stayed in the table, but he's too straight, and he'd have to jack up to get a hammer into this. Well, I think he went about this all the wrong way. I think his pattern play there leaves a lot to be desired, because even though I don't play the game, I don't think this was the way to go about it. He had to get rid of. He had to focus on what's the best nominated break balls and deal with them that way. And that's why the run is only 15. So anybody that's playing straight pull and wondering why their high runs aren't improving, that's the first reason they aren't improving, because the pattern play is not good enough. Shot choices are wrong. The order of play is wrong. And this safety that Coldest Pillows just played there is bloody awful. I mean, he's got a touch like a sledgehammer to bust those balls open like that, and he's asking for trouble doing this, because you're just making it so easy for Hazad just to pick off some more points, and then he can run for cover. And the longer this goes on at the match, the further and further away your opponent drifts. This is Miskin all over again here. But it is down to Hazad playing with common sense, because he doesn't want to start sticking his neck out and getting cocky and trying to do miracles here. You just take what you can get and then duck. Well, I don't know that that's going to be beneficial. Well, I'd just be edging that 6 ball and ducking, unless there's a combo in the pack that I haven't seen. Well, this is brave. I wouldn't be doing this if I had a reasonable enough lead. I'd be just nudging that 6 into the pack, very thin edge, and back into the long grass. It's a brave shot early on, but he's got it, and he's on a ball. Now, if he's switched on, he can leave a high angle in this 10 ball and get a bump. He's going too straight. He should have stopped the cue ball there, and he would have had a good angle in the 10 where he could just get a bump into the back of those balls there. You know, simple things like that. When you see the 10 ball sitting there, you want to just roll through far enough to leave that high angle. He's drawn it. He's not sitting ideal. In fact, he's not sitting ideal in anything. It's going to have to be the 2. It doesn't matter how much he looks around. Well, he's now looking at manufacturing a combo here, but why is he not taking the 2 ball? He would at least have the 7 ball. In fact, the angle in the 2 means he'd probably brush off the 14 and come up the table. But anyway, he's played the combo, or chose the combo, and his visit only ends in 5. Well, his bravery only got him 5 points, and the brave part was he actually got the pot, but not able to capitalise on it. Am I missing anything else in the chat? No. Oh, this cue ball. That's how it's so easy to get into problems. You know, he's okay, but you know, when you start seeing a cue ball rolling towards an object ball in straight pull, that must scare you to death, because you can easily just marry right onto it, nailed on it, and you've no shot anywhere. So now, let's look at the break ball again. Well, that is 100% ideal. So that's the one you steer well clear of, and you work your way around it. And now you see, this is where you've got to get the last couple of shots right. So down the table, drifting over to the right-hand side is where you want to go. He's gone too straight. That's terrible. He's gone far too straight, and he wanted to let that run down and run down to there. Now he's having to do acrobatics with the cue ball. Well, he's got a shot. Well, Stubbs in the room typing bullshit as usual. Just hang on a wee minute. Just give us a second, folks. Right, sorry about that. So Hazad back at the table again. Again, an opportunity to try and nick some more points, get away, and well, that didn't last long. So that'll be a missed call. And he might have got really lucky here. Well, he's lucky for the fact that the ball actually went into the wrong pocket, because there's nothing else on here. Although there is a crazy, is there a crazy 10 ball? No, there probably isn't. To see if there's anything there on that side of the stack, but I don't see anything potentially. But this is where mistakes are made. People edging these balls too thick and bringing balls into play. Now, a good opportunity now to get into the long grass. This is where you want to go. Try and get down onto that short rail at the other end of the table here. Just a feather off this 3 ball. Now, you might scratch, but you see, even that shot there was too heavy. It caught the 3 too thick, and he's nudged the ball out. Well, Hazad's being the aggressor here, going for this. Well, you haven't missed anything. You haven't really missed anything at all. In fact, Simon was there. He's left the building. I forgot Simon was there. I could have got him to deal with Stubb. Well, we're approaching the critical point right now. Something could be nudged out here. See, that was that. Did that really need to be hit so hard? You're trying to nudge a ball into a break ball position, but you don't need to hammer the balls. You just need to get a little roll. I think you could have played that a lot softer. Problem is, he's got this problem here now. Now, let's have a look at that 9. Well, that is still a problem because that 6 ball's interfering with the combo. That 6 ball is a blocker. I'm pretty certain it is. There's too much of the 6 ball in play. It's encroaching a bit too much. It might work. It looks very tight though. So that ball that's on the right hand side there, oh, wrong button. That was an ideal break ball, that 10 ball just at the corner of the pack. And hopefully Hazad has had a look at this pink 12 ball. He's trying to get a hit. Well, the only option he has now is to call the pink 12 and hope that this does go. I just think the 6 ball might be too much in the way. Has any of these guys actually called a ball in a pocket yet? I mean, he's not called this again. No. Well, I think it might have been worthwhile giving that a go, even though I wasn't convinced it would. And again, in fact, let's be honest, he'd been far better going for the combo than he would doing this. Because that was a sort of nothing shot. And now I've got an itchy nose again. Well, I'll tell you why he's behind, because he's had 2 break shots that he's missed. That's why. He can't. He hasn't been able to continue any runs so far. And you know, the problem for Coldest Pillow is that, you know, when you go up deeper into the tournament and you're making mistakes like that. Now there's another one. There's another one. When you keep doing stuff like that, the tougher opponents are going to run away from you very quickly. Now, don't tell me he's got really lucky here, has he? Oh no, the 8 ball's available. Oh no, again. I think he's okay. Yeah, he's on the 3. I'd be giving a little nudge for that 4. Yeah. You see, the problem is he's got rid of one problem, created another one doing that, hitting it so hard. You don't have to hit them so hard. Why? When's people going to listen? You just need to nudge the ball into play. You don't need to hammer it, because you're getting rid of one problem, you're creating another one. Just a little bump. That's all you need, not a hammer. Chicky pot pies are done. I presume that's a chicken pie. Well, there was an opportunity. I think he's perfect on this 14 now. And again, you don't need to hammer it. Just need to pot the 14. You're going to move the ball. And he's going for the 1. Now he's the wrong side of the 14. I mean, you can stop there and finish the short side of those balls and get rid of one of them. Now, the problem is this side. You've got potential break ball there, but you've got two balls too close together. And you've got the two in the middle of the table that Steve doesn't like. Now, if he can pot that 7 ball into the side, he would have to make do with the 11 ball near the corner of the pack. Well, that's a disaster as far as that goes. Because now there's no break ball. Nothing that is simple. And this is going to... It's going to end fairly quickly here unless he gets really good. Well, there's a chance here if you stop this cue ball, cut the 6 and get a spin into the pack. Cutting that 6 ball into the right side pocket, that's one option. I don't know. He's trying to do it. Why is he not just? Why didn't he just finish the cue ball sort of there, give it a slam and stun into them? You know, break something out doing it that way. Because the danger is drawn into them and coming off the any angle you come off, you can scratch. But he's got away with it. I don't know that he's necessarily got a comfortable pot. Well, he's got the 7, and clearly he's going to run into stuff here. Well, it's worked out. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. It's worked out. I stood up and disconnected my mic there. But anyway, as long as, you know, no matter how Hazad does it, as long as he just keeps putting points on the board, Coldest Pillow keeps making mistakes, it's going to become even more pressurised for him to stay in touch. So, what is there? Well, there's a bad miss there. Missed by a country mile in that 5 ball. So that's a 38-point lead that Hazad has got. And every time Coldest Pillow's come to the table, that gap is just stretched that wee bit further. So he needs some decent contribution, and it has to be said, he may well be looking for something around his high score to get himself really back into this. Now, a reminder to any latecomers, this match has been set beyond the deadline date. The result is, or the tournament bracket has advanced, but these two guys have agreed to play today. And it is a race to 200. It's not a race to 300 like it says up in the HUD. Unfortunately, Steve overlooked the fact that when you're setting races in straight pool and VP4, the increment goes up like 50, 100, 50 or whatever to 150, and then it jumps straight up to 300. He couldn't think to do it in 50 increments or increments of 50. He decided to make a stupid jump from 150 to 300. which then shows up in instances like this when you can't set the room to the tournament goal, the tournament match goal, I should say. So I think there's cover here. Oh, that, well, I think he sort of had a half-hearted attempt at that 14 ball there. It was way too tight. But he's kept the cue ball within the bounds of safety. So now the stack is the place to try and hide the cue ball. And that's still okay, but the stack is getting smaller and smaller as a nudge, a ball gets nudged out again. It's becoming more and more difficult to keep things safe. No, definitely nothing I can see there. So he's going to lose a point. But it's a lot easier losing 1 point than losing 30 or 40 points. So taking that loss of a point there is perfectly okay. But the other thing is that you 3-fill, you lose 18 points in total, don't you, in this game? Something like that. Or is it 15? Can't remember. Anyway, you lose a bunch of points. Got to keep looking. Every time your opponent has played a shot off this stack, you've got to keep looking. That's a terrible shot anyway from Hazad, because he's left Coldest pillow wide open. But you must always check before you make a decision to see what damage has been done. Any little nudging a ball within a stack there, you can set up a combo accidentally or whatever, and you don't realise it if you don't look at the pack. So Coldest Pillow now has something to focus on, and he's got to get that deficit down and get himself back into this. So again, if you have a quick look at what the setup is here, there's not really a comfortable break ball. These are all in the rack, so they're no good. I mean, the one thing looking at these guys playing is that it's difficult to see that they've actually made any sort of decision early on where the break ball is, if you know what I mean, because you don't necessarily see them working their way around a break ball. See, there's nothing there again. So it's going to have to be from the back of the pack again. That's not going to get there. He's trying to be too cute. You've got to just bang that and go up and down. I mean, you're guaranteed you're going to be on a ball. And again, that's a very, very poor shot from Coldest Pillow. He's trying to be cocky and cute when the common sense thing is get the ball to the bloody hole, get the cue ball up the table and down. You're on a ball. You can't not be on a ball going up and down. You might not be ideal, but you've got to work out and get that deficit down. But being tentative and indecisive isn't going to help your game. That needs to come off the rail, and it's nailed to the rail. Well, ideally you want to hit the corner of the pack here. You don't want to hit the meat of the pack. You want to hit a corner ball, and he's glanced a corner ball, and that'll do if a cue ball slows down, or he'll have nothing. Well, he's on nothing. The 9 ball, let me have a look. That 9 ball will cut up the table. I think he can get to the 9 ball. He's not even giving it a second look. He's not giving it a second look. He wouldn't have much else to follow from it, mind you, but he's went for length, and that's good enough in my book, that he's got decent length from the pack of balls. And that's the sort of edge you want to hit on a ball. That's the sort of edge you need to hit. You only want to take a scrape of paint off that ball and not do any damage. So now he's immediately got Hazad under pressure to get this touch right. And that's just loosened him a wee bit more. But you see now, he's been tentative. He hasn't been committed to get the cue ball back to that good length. And he may well have left something on, and he has done. And that's a big mistake there from Hazad. And the cue ball stuck itself in amongst the stack of balls. Well, the 5 ball goes. Well, there's points here to narrow this gap. He's 22 behind. And once again, there's a little nudge needed to try and get a break ball out here. That again was too heavy. The 7 ball would have been good if it had rolled to there, but it's rolled away too far. It can still be used as a break ball from, inside or a cut, but you don't really want to be doing those because you can never really get the proper meat of the pack when you're breaking at those angles, I don't think. So this has got us all guessing as to how he's going to find a way to break these balls, because there's nothing sitting really good here at all. But there is most certainly an art to straight pull. Anybody who ever thought that all it was just potting balls is deluded. Now that might have been a bit more progressive, because now there is a ball over here again. It's too far away from the pack to be really good, and the 9 ball's too much beyond the head of the pack to be really good. But once again, if you do this right, that 6 ball is ideal if you want to come through and leave a squarish off-cut, if that's the way to describe it, into the side and get a smack in the side of the pack. You can get a break shot from there. Now that again, you've got to have that in your mind. When you're at the table with these balls left on the table, you've got to think, well, if I can't get a break ball from this way, am I going to use the 14? Is he committed to the 14? Because it'll work. But that would have been an option, so clearly that isn't going to be it. So this is going to be the nominated break ball now. And now it's not. And the 9 at the head of the pack like that, to me, is no good. And to me, this is a big mistake. I mean, you've got a ball that's handy to get to the 14. And he's making his life really, really difficult here, Coldest Pillow. But I suppose if you'd played straight pull a lot more regular, then it might be a lot easier. This is too straight as well. Again, he's gone about this the wrong way. This could run off the pack and scratch. You've got to be careful, because you've got to get the cue ball going forward to run into them, and it can only run off and scratch. Look at this. And he's been lucky. He has been lucky. but it was never good. And again, I don't think he's went about it the right way. That to me, the 6 ball was a good one to get to the 9 into the side and break them open that way. Or even better, the 14 at the back of the pack would have been a handy one. But he didn't see those shots. Now, to me, I don't understand why he's not seen them as having reasonable enough angles to get to the pack. I don't think you need to play straight pull that much to actually understand that there are opportunities there, but he's missed the both of them. But more importantly, he's still at the table. The deficit is coming down. Well, the nine would have done, but the 6 ball would have done. There was 2 clear options to get there. The 6 ball to me was the better ball to get to the 9 and cut that 9 into the side and get a smack. But the 14 at the back of the pack, these are not ideal balls, remember. They're not ideal, but in the conventional sense of how most of the time you're breaking the pack in straight pull, most of the time we see it, it's usually a ball, left or right side of the pack that we're looking at. But why Coldest Pillow didn't see those, I don't understand. So, he's getting the wrong image in his head of how to get out with these balls, and I think the one thing you don't want to do is develop like a habitual thing where you're not really set up from the start. To me, every time you do a racket this game, you need to have that route plan in your head and then go to plan B if you have to. But you've got to get a lot more intricate in how you find your way out, because if you're not, then you're doomed. You're never going to really stretch your high run. You're never really going to be hitting that consistency level. The better players do it because they're doing it, in a more conventional way. Spot your break ball and avoid it at all costs, unless you have to bail out and go to that plan B. But plan A should always be what's in your mind to start with. Once you're really committed, or once you've created a break ball, that's it. It should be like gospel. You stick to it. But when you start, running balls and bumping balls that you don't need to bump, you're more than likely going to create more problems for yourself. But at the moment, Coldest Pillow's maybe thinking, right, well, I'm in 24, I'm doing good. But in all honesty, he's not doing good because he's not doing a lot of the things that he should be doing, probably. If Steve was here, he'd probably be moaning at him. But anyway, the more important thing for him is that he just, however he does do it, he gets the deficit down so that he's in the match. And he is now because he's in the lead. And this is just going a bit less comfortable to the rail, shall we say. Now, he's failed in these break shots so far. I don't think he's got one yet. Well, he has done in this rack, but these cuts, he's got it good this time, and he hasn't hammered them, and he's got an easy combo. There's not a problem with potting that 6 ball. You're never going to miss that. I mean, you need to have a complete failure not to pot that 6. Now, he's looking up the table at the 7 for some stupid reason. I don't understand it. I have no idea. He could have just stayed and worked round about here. The 7 ball would have been good as a bailout or to use to get to a break ball. If he see again, here's a potential couple of break balls here, and he's already moving them when he should have been working about with all the crap. He should have been dealing with the crap that's up here, and he's away down table running in the long grass for no reason. There's 2 break balls going, so that's a complete fail. So again, I don't play straight pull, guys, but I don't need to play straight pull to see where I'm going, if you know what I mean, to have a reasonable idea where I'm going. And everybody can be critical, but as far as I'm concerned, he was sat there, and you want to get into this crap here, an easy combo to get you going. If there's a ball down the table, that's your bailout ball. Leave it there for the time being and work around the crap and deal with all of this. And now look where he's got himself. And you just think about it, he's in a run of 32, but this could have been 62, if he had just done what I said and kept to the simple stuff, dealing with a simple combo, and he was in and around the crap that was here. He could have played a little bump or two and get something out. The 7 ball's always there as a bailout at that stage. And to me, he just committed Harry Carey. 2 decent break balls. What does he do? He gets rid of both of them straight off the bat. I hope he watches this at the end of this match, no matter what the outcome is, because if he wants to have any prospects of going further into this tournament, he better get his act together in terms of what he's seeing, because he's visually impaired as far as actually seeing how to try and progress the rack. He is definitely blinded for some reason, and shooting yourself straight in the foot by getting rid of 2 decent enough break balls is a major fail. Deal with problems if you can immediately can, and he had an opportunity to do it there. The run ends and whatever it was, but he's got a lead. The lead is only 8 points though. And again, not the best of safeties in the world. Well, I don't know whether you guys agree with me. I mean, it's a rant, but if you guys watched and saw what I seen, you must agree with what I said. He had a simple combo along the short rail, and that gives you a chance to deal with a problem that sat there. You look, if you're actually, see, the first thing you always do is study the table. Now, if that was me in the situation he was in, he was at this side of the table, and I'm looking, I see the 7 ball down there. Right, so the 7 ball could be a bailout in an emergency. It's also a ball that's very good. If I leave those 2 balls that side, that's a ball that can get to me to the break shot. So immediately I'm focused elsewhere. I'm thinking I'm dealing with problems here. I'm not going to touch the 7 ball. What does Coldest Pillow do? He didn't even give a second glance to this combo that you couldn't miss. You know, it wasn't dead set, but you could never miss it. He never gave it a second glance because he's not seeing the problem straight off the bat. And he bails out in a 7 ball, gets rid of his 2 break balls. I don't understand it. Complete nuts. And I mean, you know, that's like a very obvious one-trick pony shot when, you know, all he's played is 9 ball and snooker. But, you know, you've got to visualise the lay of the table, visualise your pattern you're going on and stick to it, unless, as I say, you have to go to plan B. Or it might be plan C. But you've got to map those potential break balls and stay away from them. Leave the 7 ball as a bailout, or leave it as your ball, as your penultimate ball. And he couldn't spot it, and that just flummoxes me. And Hazad has left himself way short, so he's going to try acrobatics here with loads of right English, probably. Slam this 3 ball in and try and catch the pack. And he's not going to have a great deal of momentum in this, I don't think, but that's what he's going to try. And he didn't get enough into it. Well, again, just a little feather to a rail and that'll do it. That's the right thing. But it's only 2 points in it, so this match could go either way. Well, I'll tell you, I'll be ripping into Coldest Pillow. I'll be telling him, go and look at this match, because he really needs to, you know, open his eyes, or he needs his eyes open for him. Because, I mean, he is definitely, there are some situations where he's playing like a complete rookie, where he can't see the obvious. And there was nothing more obvious than what I saw there. Goodness me. Go and look at Larry's trackball failure video. It's still on my channel. Oh, good evening to Larry. I never saw you there. Larry's trackball nightmare. That'll go down in history, that one. Right, so now well, the obvious thing is you've got one ball up table here. You could leave a bank potentially by running up the table, but you're not going to probably leave an awful lot unless there's something in the pack. Now, the danger here is that 13 ball goes. So anybody that's down this end of the table, if they want to get crazy, they can have a pop at that. And that's certainly going to do damage. But that 13 ball does go. It's tight, but it goes. And now, did Hazad get a nudge there to move anything into play? Yes, he did. So now the 13 ball's out the game. Is there anything else been created? Well, that's just a feather edge on the left side of that ball and back down into the long grass as far as I'm concerned. That's all you're doing there. Feather edge off that and get running in the cue ball. You've got to get it thin though. You get it thick, you're bumping into play, but if you get it thin and get it right, you can get good length. No, he's bottled out. That's not the best shot in the world. He's bottled out. He wasn't game to play the thin edge and run up the table. You've got to be brave to play the good safety. It's probably not going to cost him a great deal, but because I don't see anything really. I think he just content to take what he can get and then run for cover himself. You know, again, Coldest Pillow's edges are not great. He's been nudging balls into play from what I've seen so far. Just a little brush off the 8 ball, get to the short rail. But that 10 ball isn't going anywhere. Can he get enough of that 13? I think the combo's on. I think he can get that one into the side. Even if you just squeeze the cue ball a wee bit, I think you can get it. That's what he's trying. You don't want to squeeze it too much, though. You make it too much spin on it, you'll hit the 15. Oh, off the jaw. But I don't think there's not a great deal of damage going to get done here. Not unless this cue ball runs probably a mile and a half around the table and catches something in the pack, but the time it gets there, it's going to be dead anyway. Definitely nothing I can spot. Well, what I'd be trying to do, if I pot the one, I'm trying to get the cue ball up near the pack so it can make my safety a bit easier. I certainly wouldn't want to be just dropping this in and leaving the cue ball here. I'd be wanting to get around the table and up near the pack so I can actually control the safety a bit better. Well, he's looking for another option. And I mean, that might have left something on here, though. Maybe not. Well, now it's going to get interesting because here's an easy safety here for Coldest Pillow. Well, Hazad's opened up the balls a wee bit looser, and he can return the favour here, though, because, again, when you're doing that, you're really trying to marry the cue ball up to an object ball. Well, that's not got to a rail. So a couple of points gone here. And things are just beginning to open up slightly here. don't think there's anything on. No, this is far too tight. You're just trying to keep that cue ball tight. That's not bad. But again, it's going to send a ball up table because you can just kill the cue ball. Got to make sure you kill it nice and tight though. And now we're running out of balls here. This is where it's so easy to make a mistake. And look at all the balls that are in the open now. There's points here for whoever comes out in top here now. What about that 14? Is that? That 14 goes. That 14 goes. It goes clean. Well, he hasn't got the cue ball out though. I mean, is he on this 11? Oh yes, he may well just be on it. Or is he? Or is he not? It's tight. I'm not convinced. And, well, this is going to be short-lived. But I don't think he can get there. I think that's too tight. The 4 ball's too much in the way. And this 11 ball's going to go to the long rail, I think. But the bank is on. Well, why is he not playing the bank? I mean, the bank... I don't think you can miss the bank. You're going to have to just... Well, he's playing a safety, but... Well, that 11 ball needs to keep going. That'll do it. And the 4 ball is blocking off the cue ball. Well, that's a big pocket there, isn't it? I mean, that 10 ball will bank. He never even gave it a look. The 10 ball will bank. It's a huge pocket with the 1 ball sitting there. A huge pocket. Look at it. It's twice the size of the pocket. You hit that 1 ball there, you're still going to go in. Well, they're tip-tapping and losing points, but now it's that's too much of an invite for me. I'd be going for the bank and off that 1 ball every day of the week. Because yes, you can make hay while the sun shines. If you get it, there's balls and points there to be had. But who's going to be brave enough? Yeah, I would have went for it. It's still on. The bank is still on. Well, no, it isn't. Tell a lie. It isn't now that the 4 ball's in play. I take it back. But in the not too distant future, somebody's going to have a bad load of points here. But this is a habit that you can get into as well in this game, where you start sacrificing points because you don't want to take the initiative. But at some time you have to, or this will just get bogged down into this carry on for 20 minutes. But the mistake will come, I have no doubt about that. And that is it. That is a mistake straight away. Well, I didn't have to wait long. Soon as I said it, I've jinxed him. Oh, does he have to spin this a bit? I think he can get enough of it. Yeah. So here we go. Coldest pillow. A point in the lead. And a chance. But once again, this is where he's got to do thinking on how to deal with this pack, because again the table's ugly. There's nothing that's sitting there that's a good break ball right now. Let's be honest. I mean, the only one that's probably the favourite would be probably that one where you're cutting it in and coming into the side of the pack again. There's nothing that's really comfortable. 6 balls in the rack, it's no good. These are all at the head of the pack, no good. But if you, again, see, this is, there's a 5 ball there. You've got that at the head of the pack. You could drop the 5 in, leave the cue ball here, cut the 11, smack the top of the pack. So I don't even think he's got any idea in his head of where he's going. I'll be honest with you, I don't think he has. I have no idea whether Coldest Pillow has any idea what he's doing here. Because again, there's the options. If you've got a ball like that there, and you've got a ball like this here, you've got an opportunity to pot that ball, stop the cue ball, cut the ball on the side and smack the pack. Never even gave any thought that he was any idea like that in his head, and now it's going to have to be the cut and the 10 ball. So maybe that was the one that he was going to leave as his break ball. But these are never good. These are never the way you want to be doing it. But it's worked out. But you see again, with the angle of that pack, the cue ball's always going to either come off like that and could roll to the side, but more likely it's going to roll down and scratch. That's why you don't want to be breaking at that angle into the pack. You want to be doing it the more conventional way, if you can. And the best players, let's be honest, generally break what you describe as a sort of conventional way in straight pool. That's all the guys that are getting high runs. That's the way they're doing it 9 times out of 10. So there has to be something that they're doing right. That sort of break ball where it's on the rail and you're having to cut across it. You're only doing that as a bailout because you haven't had a break ball in a sort of normal sense of the game where it's either side of the pack or maybe a push the back of the pack. You don't really want that either. But, well, I suppose at this stage and the level that these guys had played at, 17 points is as much a bad load of points as any. And now I'm worrying the fact that the two of them, neither of them are going to get anywhere near close to breaking their high run. But now Hazad is the one that's going to be under pressure when he gets another visit because he's going to be chasing down a fairly hefty deficit by the look of it. And again, in fact, in this match so far, have we actually had anything that's remained as what you would describe as a conventional break ball in any of the racks that we've seen? I don't think there has been. And when there has been, somebody's potted the ball and it's gone. In fact, more to the point, Coldest Pillow's done it more than anything, where there has been potential break balls and they've all gone. And it's been left in an ugly situation like this. But, well, all I'll say is there is a vast room for improvement here for both of these guys. One of them is going to survive this match. We know that, but their prospects for future survival are not good. That might just be a break ball, though, that he's just created, and it most certainly is. So now he's in as good a shape as he's ever going to be to continue this run. Now this cue ball's got to come up right into the middle of the table. It needs to keep going. It needs to keep going to give an angle, and he's got an angle. That's the best break ball yet.
Where's the cue ball going?
Again, coming off the angle of the pack. That's always a danger, but he's got away with it. But has he got a shot? Well, he's got a combo. I don't know that he wants that as a combo if he can help it, but he's got a 3-10 combo that, again, you really are a 7-10, but you really need to play this badly to miss it. But again, he's back to this one. He's trying to squeeze the 6. That'll go. He's right enough. The 6 will go. Right, so now I'm trying to get inside Coldest Pillow's head here right now, right? That 3 ball is there and can be a break ball. It's just a bit wide for the pack. And now he's nudged another ball into play that's now created an issue. straight away he's created an issue here. You've got these two balls that are too close together, but again, could be a potential break ball within them two. So if you can get an angle where you can just get a little brush, fine. So what was maybe a potential break ball has been killed stone dead. So again, you look at trying to deal with stuff like that. Now there's the 4 balls now in play. So that's the one. That's the one you're committed to. Right now, from this situation, that's the one you're working around, and you're tidying everything up to get to this 4 ball. That's the plan. I'm in Coldest Pillow's brain, and I'm thinking that way. So this is what I'm avoiding, and I'm doing everything to tidy this up and leave that 4 ball there. I'm trying not to nudge it, and yet he's trying to nail himself to it. So he's got to get a little nudge. He can tidy everything up here. Now the 7 ball would be handy to get to the 4. So I'm leaving the 7 ball there to get to the 4. Okay so far. So, well, I'd be going a lot lower than that. I'd have been trying to get down there to play the 9 and come up, but now he's going to go the other way around. So you've got to get good in the 9 to get up high enough for this 4 ball. And there is an angle. Again, you've got to hammer this and get up the table and get a bit of running on it to come across. Why is he playing the 4 ball? Or why is he looking at the 4 ball into the side? I don't know. You've got to get up the table. He's back at it again. Anywhere up in the middle of the table, you've got a break shot. It doesn't have the legs, he hasn't hit it. He had to hammer it. I mean, even if you finish up down there, you've still got a break ball. And again, it's an unconventional one running into the side. And it's arced round and hit the top of the pack, and he's dead in the water. Well, you know, the obvious thing there with the 4 ball, what it was, he had to get length in the cue ball. He had to get a lot of juice and running, and he never hit it. Well, he's run ends in 40. A potential high run has been killed by the fact he just didn't get the length in the cue ball up the table. And that's probably the only rack that we've seen in this whole match where a break ball has eventually been created and he's worked around it and, well, you know, didn't quite get there. But it's now a healthy lead. It's 40 points. So Hazad knows that he's got to make something. Well, I'll be honest with you, if he's going to get back in this, he's going to have to do something in return. He's going to have to put a little score together. Why does the HUD show a new run out, Rob? I said that in the stream the other day. Oh no, it wasn't. Rob's asking why it shows 300. Well, it shows 300 because this is a match room and you can't set it to 200. I thought somebody was asking there, why is it showing 50 next to each player's name? So I take that back. But it's showing 300 because you can't set it to 200 in the match room. It goes from 150 to 300. But Steve's to blame for that because he couldn't see that. You know, setting it in 50 increments of 50 would be the simple thing to do. So it goes 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. But Steve doesn't think that way. He thinks it's much better to jump from 150 to 300 in the match settings. So, you know, that's just a complete numpty error on his part, isn't it? Talking about numpty errors, that was a terrible shot by Hazad. And he's bottled out on the shot there because he had to flush that down the rail. And he's sort of chickened out on it. And he's going to pay the price here because he's only had a visit of 3. Yeah, that was really poor. Really poor. Well, the one thing you don't want to do is start bottling out, especially when you're trailing by 40 points. You've got to stay strong. You can't chicken out on a shot, and Hazad did that there. You've got to be assertive and decisive in your shots. This is suddenly turned ugly, this rack, though. As I bump my mouse. This is no good. Well, that 8 and 12, I think it's going too much to the jaw. Now, that 2-ball go? Yes, it does go. Can you get enough of it? Yes, he can. Well, that's a bonus for Hazad. Well, bit of pressure on him now. Now again, we've got a bailout ball down table here. This 7-ball, and he's bumped the ball. That's finished a stone dead combo, so he doesn't need to worry about that. Now he's got to consider what's going to be used as a break ball, and he might have to end up with a ball at the back of the stack, yeah, the rack. The 1-ball, you know, if you're sitting there in the 1-ball, you can get away with that as a break ball. And you don't want to be playing it from the middle of the table and coming off the rail into them. It's never guaranteed it's going to come out good. So that equation is gone. So we know that this is a dead set combo. You can't miss it. And does he really want to be nudging it? Does he really want to be nudging this? He's probably going to have to now, where he's finished. Right, so now he's got no excuse. You can hold the cue ball, you can stop the cue ball, and you've got a good back of the pack here. But you've got to watch he's left this far too straight. That's terrible. I mean, there's where he wanted to be. Yeah, that was such a poor shot. Okay, again, he's got a ball. Yeah, he's got a ball, but even a simple shot like that, all he had to do was just nip it and keep it sort of squarish, so he'd a decent angle to get the meat of the pack. But anyway, the problem with not getting a good hit in the pack is he's ended up by just taking sort of dribs and drabs and going to have to duck again. Unless something can be manufactured here, and I don't think there's going to be much manufactured. Loads of top and try to get around the angles and get some sort of hit. Nah, that's the problem. You see, that all that running, you'll get very little in the way of momentum to do damage in a very solid pack of balls. So all he can do now is duck. But it all went wrong from that initial break shot. That's where it went wrong. All he had to do was pot the ball but hold the cue ball to a squarer angle, and he did a much better hit in the pack. So that was just a very, very basic error there. And Coldest Pillow, of course, already had the 28-point lead, and now the shoe's in the other foot. Now Coldest Pillow can nick a few points and just keep Hazad at arm's length. Stubbs back in the room again. Right, so once again we've got a table that is ugly as far as break balls go. There's nothing that you really like the look of here, let's be honest. Nothing really at all. Everything there is no good. Can't see this going much further than what we've got here. Well, it's going to be, I would assume, the 7 ball, but the problem is those 2 balls up there need nudging, and he may well have to use a 7 to nudge them. Or is he on the short side? Yes, he is on that one. So 7 ball is the nominated break ball. So now the objective here is you stun this in, come up the table. Is he trying to stay in the stack? Yeah, he has done. So, well, again, you should never be at this side. You've got to leave yourself the angle and cut that and give it a bang. In fact, he should be over here. Give himself more angle. And give that a hammer with the arm pawn. This is going to, again, the danger is running down the pack and coming into the corner. Yeah, he's run off the pack. He's got the hit. Well, he can either cut the 9 or play the combo. Now that 9 ball is not frozen. Oh, I never saw Bill there. Goodness me, Bill's probably been there for an hour and I never even noticed him in the chat. Welcome, Bill. I'm too busy focusing on this. Oh God, I thought he'd missed that there. Oh, now it's all got ugly. Now it's all got very ugly. Extremely ugly. I don't see a shot. Well, yes I do. That's a shot. Kick the 2 in. Now, I think you've just got to play this pocket weight, because if you get too much momentum in this and you hit this sweet, you could follow this in. Or you could do that. But he'll probably settle for that as well. I mean, that's perfectly safe by the look of it. Yes, there's a dodgy 10 into the side, but that ain't happening, I don't think. Yeah, well, I would settle for that as a safety. Well, how long's this been on? It started at around about 6 o'clock. Well, we're 90 minutes. And we could be here another 90 minutes at this rate. Well, we've got a combo down the rail potentially, but I think the 5 ball's in the way. Now, what's he called there? Is he called for the kick again? Well, this is a bit more fiddly. He's got to watch the line off the knuckle, and he's hammered it, stunned the cue ball, and, well, 15 cuts into the side, and not a great deal going to be available. 10 ball certainly be good enough to get some damage done here, as long as he's off the rail. He might be too thin. Yeah, he's too thin, I think. Far too thin. Because he really, in fact, that 12 ball's in the way. He would have liked to have been up sort of there so he could sort of spin that into them. And now it's going to have to be a combo, so we're really struggling here to keep this going. That's too straight into the side. But the 8 ball's there to get a nudge, so you take the 6 ball into the side and you roll through and take the 8 ball. Why is he doing this one now? Why is he not seeing the 8 ball as a little nudge to get into these 2 balls here? You roll the 6 in, go through into the gap, cut the 8 and bump those, and you've got those in play. And this is, I don't understand this. This has got me confused again, because that's a nothing shot. That is a nothing shot. That was a shot there. Roll it into the side, come through into the gap. There's the cue ball. There's plenty of room to get the cue ball and play the cut and break them open. And now we're going all round the houses and doing acrobatics. Yeah, there was a much easier way to get there, but he's got there now. he's got there. Well, that doesn't want to go in though. You didn't want that to go in, so now you've got to get high enough up the table because that's your shot to bump these out. This 3 ball. Unless he wants to try and nip across, so he's going to go too far. That's going too far. You want to be there. You want to be there. And he's, well, he can get it going forward and run into them. And that'll do, because that is a stonewall, unmissable combo down the rail. Is he trying to... Well, I think he's got to hit this a wee bit to try and bring that 9 ball into play. I don't think you want to hit this soft. I think you've got to try and get lucky with this 9 ball and bring it into play. Well, it's actually just stunned and stopped stone dead. It's off the rail. Well, you're going to need it. I don't think if you hammer this won't work. I don't think. I think you got to hit this a wee bit softer with a wee bit of left. Yeah, he's hit it softer. You're never going to get a great result. But he hasn't got a great result. Yes, he's loosened a couple of balls, but there's nothing doing. That 6 ball I don't think goes. That's going too much to the jaw. And that's now changed the setup. So Hazad under pressure, 54 points behind, and he needs a contribution like now if he's going to survive this match. Needs a contribution now. And that ain't doing. It ain't doing. Oh dear. Well, there's so much room to scratch off that. You know, you'd be really desperate to try and kick that in, get up and down. But it does make that a big pocket if there's anything can be nudged up and down the table. Now he's called, what did he call there? Now he's changed his mind. Oh, wait a minute, that was a foul, right. I presume that's what happened there. I presume Hazad just played the deliberate foul. I thought I saw him call a ball there for a second. It sort of distracted me. Well, this is so easy to make a mistake here and open this game up. Coldest Pillow's got to be careful. Well, he might have just made a mistake, has he? Maybe not. Maybe not. Hang on a minute. I don't know whether he can get enough of that 4 ball to squeeze it into the side pocket. It looks touch and go. Yeah, he caught the 12. And that's a big sellout from Hazad. Big sellout. That was almost a sort of do or die shot there. And I'm just going to blow my nose.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, that's a disaster for Coldest Pillow. Well, I'm not exactly a beautiful piece of scenery that Bob used to paint. I'm what Bob would call not a mistake, just a happy accident. That's what he would call me. Well, big mistake from Coldest Pillow. Hazad has been let off the hook because Coldest Pillow could have been edging ever so much closer to the finishing line here. And Hazad's been given a big lifeline that he really needs to make the most of this. He has got to be proactive in his attempt to survive here. Now that's going too straight, because again, what he should have done is finish there and get a smack on that 12 ball and do some damage, and he's ended up in the worst possible spot. And again, straight off the bat, he's committed Harry-Kiri and not. I mean, that was a simple enough shot to get square onto that 12 ball and get a hit. And now he's treading water here. Oh, he's found a gap, got himself on the 3 ball. Right, now, once again, we've got an ugly setup here. There's nothing that's good. Nothing that is good as a potential break ball. Not a single ball. But he can help the situation, I think. He's a bit straight on that 14. I was looking to maybe squeeze the 14, bump the 5 and make it a wee bit better away for the back of the pack, although it's actually sitting good enough where it is. I mean, that might work. And you've got the 6 ball to get there. You know, you've got the 6 ball to get it, so you need to get rid of this. This needs to go. See, again, there's a problem. You've got to, and he might have to be taking the 6 ball next just to stay at the table. Well, I don't like the way this is going at the moment. But it might work. It still might work now. You can get rid of the 1. So now it's down to the nitty-gritty in terms of how you leave yourself on this last ball. Now, I have no idea what the hell that is. Not a clue. And I don't know that Hazad has any idea either, because I have no thought in what the hell he saw in this plan. Just again, I'm baffled by how players are going about trying to get themselves in shape here. Well, it always inevitably ends with just a run of 10 or 11. But it's all down to the pattern play. It's, you know, staring you in the face where the problems are. Just the pattern play just isn't there from these guys. And Coldest Pillow has got himself perfect here, but again, you've just got to watch how you run this cue ball. He's too close to the rail, that's the problem. Cue ball running forward, it doesn't scratch. The balls are broken all over the place, and now it's a run to the finish line. I think this contribution here should break the back of this match and sort Hazad out. I think that's him done and dusted. A 40-odd point lead and counting. And what's more, now, once again, I'm trying to get into the mind of Coldest Pillow, and straight away, there's my break ball, right? I'm not touching that break ball. I'm doing everything to avoid it. I'm working my way around it, and I'm dealing with problems. Now, where's my problem? Well, my problem is I want to get rid of that ball for a start, and I want to do a little nudge in these, or I want to stop the cue ball and play the combo, which isn't dead set. They're a bit close together. I still might prefer getting a wee nudge like that. So now I've dealt with the problem, right? Again, I'm trying to think inside bloody Hazad, Coldest Pillow's head. There's the one I'm working around. So I'm dealing with issues. I've got a bailout ball down the rail, and I've also got that ball as a potential to get onto my last ball. So everything's good at the moment. And I'm leaving the 7 ball well alone, and I'm working around all the other stuff round about it. So now it's plan B already because the 6 ball's gone. And it's now plan C because the 2 ball's gone. So now it's one of these 2 balls as my penultimate ball to get to the 7. Now, if he can get the hold on the cue ball here, he's going to have a great opportunity. Well, he's gone the other way, so now he's got to go forward and up into the table and coming over this side to leave the angle. And that's much better. Okay, he's running away a wee bit further than I would like, but that rack's gone according to plan, more or less. Cue ball's coming down table, balls are in play, and he's on 171. And again, the table's not great, so there's nothing committed here yet for anything, any sort of break ball, but the chances are that with a nudge here or there, and again, not a slam, a nudge will nudge a ball into play. But you've also got this issue here. Now, he's blocked off. He would have to play a combo to get here, so there's problems. There are problems here in the progression of this visit, and he might have just gone wrong right off the bat here again. Yeah. It's all gone pear-shaped. The 15 cuts into the side. It's tight, but it goes. And this might work out. This might work out. He's going to have to, you know, he's lined up. Oh, that's dead set. You're never missing that. Well, that's all going okay. Now, see, again, he's potting balls here. He's got to stop and think and look at something up table to break them. He never even thought about it. He's going the other way. Now, that ball fell on the floor there. Did you hear that? Right, so you guys are a witness that there's a... Oh, no, the ball's went off the table. Oh, shit, there's a disaster. I thought that went through the pocket because it was zoomed in, but he's actually banged the ball off the table. Oh, that's another disaster. Well, that's let Hazad off the hook again, but Hazad, is he going to be good enough to take any advantage of this? Oh, it needs to come off the rail. Well, that's not bad. He just needs a little nip and a little bump. Again, you don't need to slam them. Well, he's got rid of one problem, created some more, and there, that's how it all goes wrong so easily. Oh, I can't see anything being creative here. Well, that's a dodgy cut in the 6. He's done well to get that, but that's it. He's not getting anything else out of that lot. No chance. Not even the most vivid imagination can you conjure up anything from this lot. Well, the lead is far too much at this stage. Coldest Pillow is 15 points away from the finish line. And neither of the... Well, Coldest Pillow got to 40. But neither of the two of them have threatened to break their high run. Least of all Hazad. I think he's got nowhere near anything in his visits. Very surprised at that neither of the two of them could break their highest run. What was that question there? Straight pull. Can you sink any ball? Yes, you can. As long as you nominate the pocket it's going into, unless it's more than obvious. Well, rail not hit. Coldest Pillow back at the table. And he misses, and Hazad is back in again here. Goodness knows, I mean, you start adding up the opportunities that Hazad has had. He could have made a stack of points. He just hasn't been good enough to do it. Well, I'm speaking as a non-straight pool expert. But from what I've seen here today, you don't need to be a straight pool expert to see where some players are going wrong, where they're not seeing opportunities, they're not seeing where the problems are. I don't know, but it's like a blindness with players. I think that they're not seeing ways to progress the rack and keep themselves at the table. Because if that were the case, we would have already had a 60, 70, 80 run in this match. No doubt about that. But I think if you don't, I think your major failing is if you don't have a blueprint in your mind. As soon as you've made that break shot, if you don't have a blueprint in your mind where you're going, and the table maybe is convenient to do that. See, right now the table's not convenient to do it. The best chance for a break ball isn't really there. There's nothing that's comfortable and good. Everything's sitting awkward. But you've still got to have something in your head to find your way out of here, because if you don't, you're going to be well buggered by the later stages of the rack. I mean, this table doesn't give you great prospects looking at it. Your prospects might actually be somewhere down here. It could. I mean, it's. You could create something. You might be able to get a bump and create something. But again, everything's sort of up in the air. And there's no full commitment here with this table. You could end up going the sort of bailout break shot by leaving the 4 ball there and you know, cutting it from the middle of the table. But again, there's always the dangers of running off the pack and going to the long grass and scratching. We've seen it happen hundreds of times. So there's nothing good at the moment. But all that Hazad really is trying to do here is stay at the table and get some points. And like I said, if you can't get a good break shot, then at least make sure Coldest Pillow's getting nothing. So you've got to think both ways. You know, making inroads into the deficit and not gifting any opportunity here for Coldest Pillow. Now Hazad's going to have to do a recovery pot here. The cutting the 9 ball is by far the easiest one. Right, now he's finished in the middle of no man's land. I mean, you pot the 2, you get a bump, you'll be unlucky not to have a bailout somewhere. Well, again, he's hit that. Well, that could have been a potential break ball, but the 2 of them have married up. And now he's hit that too hard and stuck it into the stack. Now it's back to square one. And also the fact that the 4 ball's gone, it was on the rail. It was a potential shot you could use as a break shot. Not the best idea, but now it's anybody's guess as to what's going to happen here. I mean, he could think about finishing, stopping the cue ball in the rack and leaving that 1 ball up there as a break ball, because you've got ball in hand in the kitchen. You could cut that into the side and give the cue ball a smack into the pack that way. Again, you've got to think about all plans and options here. And that could be an option. Well, it won't be if he plays the 1. He could still actually do that by potting this, coming up here, stunning that in and killing the cue ball there and having left a 1 there. But that's never going to happen because you never saw that as an option. So now it's all eggs in one basket. It's the thin cut he needs, and that's far too straight. Or is he in the pack? Yes, he is. So that's good. That'll work. Now he's got to hit the corner of the pack, not the back wall. You don't want to get right into the meat of this pack. And well, it's come out not bad. And he's got balls to continue here. Now, again, you can play the 6 on the side. Do you need to run into these 2? Not really when that ball's there. You can pot the 4 either that way, and run one of these down the rail. You don't have to be playing the 6 ball to bump any of these two. So we'll see what Hazad does to keep going. Now he's looking at the 6 ball. And I'm not sure what he played there. Did he play to get a nudge in the 11 and he never needed it? He's a bit high in the 4. He could drop this in dead weight and still play one of them balls up the table. He's got a potential break ball right now that you should be avoiding at all costs, which would be the 2 ball. It's a bit further away from the pack, but it'll work. And, well, again, why he didn't just drop the 4 ball in dead weight so he didn't start running into these balls. Now he's, that's a waste of a shot. Well, he can bail out the other way and get rid of the 10 ball, but that there you shouldn't be going near, because right now that's the break ball. And if he leaves one of these here, he's got a great opportunity to get good in the 2. So again, thinking ahead, he might have to bail out in the 2 right now. It's going to go tits up here. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, there we go. That's that done and dusted for that plan. We're on plan B already. And it could be back to plan C with a 15 ball cutting off the rail into the pack. It still could be the 12 ball at the back of the pack. Right. Well, this run is on 26, but he really needs to keep this going. This is vital that he keeps this going. And now he's maybe going to be bumping his potential break ball here. He's avoided it. So now you've got to be committed. You've got to get rid of these 2, deal with this stuff on the side here, and commit to that break ball at the back of the pack. And this is sort of on a knife edge for Hazad, that he could get back into this here. But this is so vital that he gets this right. And he could make a match of this. And he needs to understand that. The importance of these next 3 shots that he's about to play. And the other thing is, he wants to get really good on this 8 ball. Really good on it. To roll through for this 12 ball at the back of the pack. He's got to get good. Why is he looking around here? Why is he doing this? Why is he not? I don't understand it again. Why is he not rolling that in or studding that in and coming onto the 8 ball and rolling through for the back of the pack 12 and back? I don't understand it at all. Totally baffled. Not a clue what the hell is going through Hazad's head. But that, again, any straight pool expert watching, tell me what I'm missing here, because why he can't see that you want to get on that 8 ball to roll through for the pink 12 that's sitting plumb at the back of the pack and giving it a smack and opening them. I don't understand it. I give up, in fact. I totally give up. And just as I was talking about the importance of getting the breakout, he's gone totally against any plan that I had in my mind for his progression in the rack and shot himself right in the foot. And if anything, just handed victory to Coldest Pillow on a plate. So again, it was at the 14 ball at the back of the pack. Well, to me it was a 12. Was it not the pink 12? Doesn't matter what the hell ball it was. He went about some sort of crazy way that I didn't understand. No idea what the thought processes are of Hazad there. Not a single clue. I mean, when I'm watching the better guys playing this, they generally go about it in what I describe as the conventional way. They've spotted a break ball early on, and lo and behold, by the end of the rack, the break ball's still sitting there. Or they went to plan B and dealt with it. And Hazad, the strange thing for me was that the fact that whatever ball was it, the 8 ball that was there, or was it the 8 ball that was there? It was the 8 ball that was there. So this ball that was here, why he couldn't see that he could roll that in or stun it in and come across and roll that ball in to come down there for that. That was a pink 12, I think, that was sitting there. Why he didn't see that has got me totally confused. He thought this was some sort of better break ball over here. I don't know. Well, Coldest Pillow on 182. Hazad, for me, Hazad had a great chance to get right back into this match and take it pretty much all the way. Really, really mind-boggling watching some of the stuff that these guys are doing. And I'm probably glad Steve isn't here, because I think he'd be busting the odd blood vessel ranting and raving at these guys. Well, I suppose there's a clincher here to win the match if he can get good. It's not looking good, it has to be said, the way these are shaping up, but you never know what Coldest Pillow's going to try. Yeah, this is the wrong angle on the 2 ball, and he's trying to spin this up. He's trying to get into the pack, and that'll work. So now, right over here, and again, this needs a lot of beef into this to get any real damage done. But it's a match winner if he can get it. You see he's stuck right in the head of the pack, but he's got a ball. Going to be awkward though. But he only has to get the cue ball or the cue stick jacked up or whatever, and he's got a bailout ball. You've got to make sure you're committed one way or the other, because if he isn't, he's going to be blocked off. Oh, he's got plenty of room. Plenty of room, and if he can just drop through in this 11 ball or stay high on it and get the cut. He's going to pot the 2 instead, but he's got the breakout ball to do damage here. He's going below it, that'll work. So I think you want to try and hit that 12 ball. He's hit the 8 ball instead, but he's still got balls loose. The run goes to, or takes him to 193, so he's got 7 to get. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he needs another ball out of this stack here. And there is a ball there. The 12's at the back of the pack. But he can now get a little nudge as well, just to loosen something up. So you don't hammer this, you just brush this in, so that you catch these balls. Just an edge. If you hit it too hard, you'll miss them, and he's got it. And that's it. Game, set, and match, folks. Coldest Pillow, 5 balls away from victory. And Hazad doesn't know how close he came to actually making a match of this, but it was total meltdown and total failure in the brain box thinking capacity. That capacitor has blown. I think he was very close to making a match of this at the end of it, but his way of thinking does not agree with mine on how he should have went about it. So 1 more ball for Coldest Pillow. In fact, the bracket doesn't need to be changed because the bracket as it stands is now correct. Coldest Pillow was advanced. As you can see, he now plays Pool Kabouter in round 2. So if we just get an update here in this bracket, because there's been results and things and forfeits and all sorts of stuff been going on. Talking about forfeits, VP Monster's gone AWOL. He's nowhere to be seen. Spudboy is now through to play Sergaresh, who last night beat Rabi in the first round match, and quite a margin as well, 200 to 101. So you've got the match with Pulkabouter and Coldest Pillow. You've got Matt, who had that comfortable win over Slim. MC Clarkey through to play DJ Simon. Bedhead, well, there we go. There's the match of the round. You've got an all-Swedish tie again. Bedhead against Albinario. That'll be a very good match to watch. And then in still round 2, you've got Tommy, who has now set up his match with Brainfall Out. And again, that's far too late. What? That's March the 25th. What's today's date? Is this the 23rd? So Monday's the 24th. Tuesday, no, that's fine. Tuesday night is fine for me because I'll be finished work for then, and I don't need to go to work the next day, so I can get that one. And that could be a very close match with Tommy and Brainfall Out. You've got Miskin having forfeited with Cobra, so Cobra yet to play a match in the tournament. He's had 2 buys. Cheeky Chico bailed out on him, and Miskin has done the same. So Cobra through to round 3 without breaking sweat. You've got Larry up against Laser. I've never seen Laser. I have no idea how he plays, but he took out Viking, and I think Larry still should be hot favourite for that. I'm guessing fairly assuredly that Larry should win that comfortably. Stubb hasn't hit a ball because, as predicted, Woody isn't interested. He signs up for them and never plays. And Stubb has got through to round 2. But unfortunately for Stubb, he's going to have to meet up with the current champion, Acero, from Japan in round 2 to try and survive. So that is it, folks. So just confirmation on the schedule. There's 2 matches. The Interchange X and Bosk match is set for Tuesday evening at midnight, and I won't be there for that. But on Tuesday at 8 p.m, Brainfall Out and Tommy go at it, so I will be there for that one. So all I'll say to Coldest Pillow is, you ain't going to survive much more in this tournament unless you buck your ideas up. You've got to get your head screwed on to play in this game, to progress. Potting balls and looking good's fine, but getting break balls and manufacturing runs is what it's all about. So there's a lot to learn there. But the more you play, the more you learn. So good luck to him, and good luck to Hazad and that one-loss side. Well, that was a bit tortuous, wasn't it, folks? I don't know what Bob would think of it, but there was a lot of unhappy accidents in that match. That is it. I'm off to try and catch the snooker and see how those 2 guys are doing. It should be a good end to the match between Trump and Kyron Wilson. Thanks for watching. I'll bid you good evening, and we will see you again soon, hopefully Tuesday night. So until we meet then, I'll bid you good night and see you later, folks.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.